For businesses out there, why YouTube is important for them? Why is it important for them to invest on a great YouTube channel?
It's a great question. This is something that I think a lot of businesses don't fully appreciate until they see it firsthand. But predominantly, what you're doing is you're standing out in a sea of what could be super similar competitors. I'm trying, what is a great, just like vanilla, maybe you have a donut shop, right? So you local donut shop, you're not trying to sell to people in Iceland. You're not trying to sell to people in California. You are, let's say you're like a Kansas City donut shop. You just care about the population of Kansas City. There are probably, 100 other donut shops. Your advantage could come from a lot of things, but what is always going to be unique is you and your story. So there is no other donut shop that's going to have the same people, especially the same owner, and the same story about how they got to where they are. And that's a lot of my clients. This is like the guided conversation I have with them, is just asking questions to figure out, like, how did you get into this industry? Why do you love it? Because you have to love it. Again, if you're going to be doing it day in and day out, you can't get tired of it after a month, why do you love it so much? And, that personality comes through via video better than anything else. You can read, you could read all about Johnson & Johnson on Wikipedia for hours, or you could see a 30-second ad for, a diaper by J&J, and you're like, oh, I get it. I see what they did. So it's just speed of communication. It allows you to sort of choose what angle your viewer is going to see your company through. And then it's just transmitting that personality. It's the closest you can have to a direct conversation with a potential customer without actually going into their house and like shaking their hand. So I always tell business owners, it's like, treat it like this is, you have this unique opportunity to cold call, but it's someone who chose you. They're going to come listen to your pitch. You just get to introduce yourself and share your personality. And that's more important than like, oh, what kind of powdered sugar do they put on their donuts? It's like, no, if the guy, is a military vet who discovered his love for culinary arts while he was stationed in Japan, if he has a crazy backstory, it's like, that's what people care about. The stories are what keep people coming back to video content, podcast content, all of these things. It's like the storytelling is the core.
I mean, what you're doing is very important, because I saw a lot of small businesses sometimes they even don't have a YouTube channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have maybe an Instagram page. They don't see really, maybe they don't know, and they don't see the potential of YouTube. And because YouTube is a search engine itself, is the second, after Google is YouTube. People go there to search stuff.
Yes. Well, and also it's like people don't realize that. And then it's like, you think, well, it's also owned by Google. So really, like, in some ways, when they're searching Google, they're also inherently searching YouTube. So it's powerful. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. If you're searching on Google, they give you some YouTube videos, and especially these videos where you have the timeline, and then Google going to give you exactly the portion of that YouTube videos where you find it. It's amazing. It's a lot of businesses, when I try to visit their website, and then I try to see, sometimes they don't have YouTube, or even if they have a YouTube channel, they don't take it very seriously. They just put a video there, and like you said, you watch it. It's there's a lot of work to do on that front for small businesses.
It's true, man. It's like, if let's say you need a new tire and you're looking at two different places that do tires, and one of them has a video that's just like the camera raw file name, like C01158, and it's, versus a title that's like, here's how you change a Nissan 2006 tire, whatever. It's obvious, like, to the viewer, which person has put more care in and who is like really trying to reach the customer.
Yeah, that's true. And that's what one of the industry that's very good on using YouTube and digital platform is the insurance industry. You see how many ads they put out there, like Geico or AAA, they're really very effective on using these, like YouTube and Instagram, and it makes a difference.
It really does. Yeah. And it becomes an interesting case study in seeing, I play a game in my head where I'm trying to figure out who they are targeting with each of their ads. So when Geico does an ad, it's like, oh, this one's meant for millennials who are about to buy a home, you know, oh, this one's made for like retiring baby boomers or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's a reason that they are like the big names, because they just really put so much into it.
Yeah, they're very effective. Like anything you know about them come from those ads. There's no one who went there and sit down and read a whole website or a whole book to learn
Right.
about it. Everything comes from those ads they put in front of you every time, and they're like, okay, let me switch to Geico or let me do
It's so
this.
true. It's weird too, because you start to like, they have like characters, you know, like Flo from Progressive, and like these people, these like yeah, I don't know, these faces that are public facing, these characters that they like try to get you familiar with and build this like emotional bond to.
Yeah.
It's clearly very effective, but
Yeah.
it's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. So do you plan to start your own YouTube channel, or you already have it, or you have it on for your business?
So I run a few, but they're all, so I do YouTube work for both of my bands. So I, you know, usually if I'm making a video, it's in some way related to that. We might be doing a music video or like a playthrough video or something. And then I have a YouTube that I started with my two brothers, but it was a long time ago. We just like put a couple videos out, and they like did pretty well, because it was back in the glory days where you could put anything out, and as long as you like tried to edit it decently well, it would do well. But it's not really, I'm way less focused on that aspect of it. I see YouTube as like a tool to help push my music career and my professional career. So I'm not particularly interested in becoming like a YouTuber proper. But I just think like the skill is so valuable. It just augments everything that I'm interested in. So that's kind of how I got locked into it.